Let's do this, will we? Yes, we will. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Elvis the Ultimate Fan Channel. I do hope you have a good time tonight, today, this morning, tomorrow, wherever you're watching in the world. Jenny O'Connell says, hello. Hello, Jenny. Right. Yes. Thank you very, very, very much for joining me on this Sunday, or maybe it could be Monday if you're watching live in Australia. And if you're watching on catch up, where were you? No, I'm only joking. I'm so pleased that you chose to spend a little bit of time with me and our Elvis. I do hope that I live up to your expectations. If you're new to this channel, then basically what's going to happen over the next hour and a bit is we're going to have a lot of fun, Elvis fun. We're going to have a quiz. We're going to have a topic. We're going to have this day in Elvis history down the years. We're going to have a live poll. We're also going to have an underrated Elvis song, a song I wish Elvis had recorded, Photoshop of the week. Yeah, I don't like those. Elvis at the piano. I nearly went too far then. We've got Caption this photo, which we do have a lot of fun with, I must admit. And we have a smoking hot photo as well, which is just... there's a lot of swoons going on and thumps near the end of the show when I show you the smoking hot photo. And that's just the fellas. So, yeah. You can call me later on, free, on WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook Messenger, or... even better, you can get into the queue now. You can join the call-in queue now using the Discord link in the description box below this video. Or if you're already a member of Discord, then you just literally click the call-in button. It's as simple as that. Thank you very, very, very much for all the kind messages and show of support and so forth that you show me down through the weeks and during the week. It's great. Now, I've got here this week's topic, newly discover. Well, that's obviously old, isn't it? So let's put in here what it really should be. Let's have a look. How do I do that? You can have a little peep into how I do things on this show. It should be saying no to Elvis. What do you think of that? That's going to be and it goes, okay, and I go like this, and okay, it should just pull it. Yeah, well, it's not exactly working very well, is it? Let's have a look. This is how you do things. This is how I do things during the week. Yeah, it's not going to have it, is it? Okay. Yeah, I'll live with that. Saying no to Elvis. It's near enough, isn't it? Let's have a look. Yeah, saying no to Elvis. I could have stretched it a little bit wider, but you get the idea. So there you are. I thought I'd done that earlier on in the day, but there you are. Now, so the first thing up is, last week was a lot of fun, wasn't it? And I'll tell you why it was a lot of fun, is because I posted this, and I wasn't 100% sure it was Vernon and Elvis, but it turns out, thanks very much to you, that it is... and is identified as Art Linkletter or Linkletter. I'm not 100% sure how you pronounce that. And an unnamed toddler, not Elvis and not Vernon. And all thanks to you during the show, we identified. And there is the signature as well. And it's clearly Art Linkletter, yes. So well done. And that's just revisiting last week's topic. So we're going to go into the quiz. Or are we? No, there's a few little bits of news I just want to share with you. You probably saw this during the week, but I will refresh your memory about it. And it is, basically, Netflix is set to release a new documentary on Elvis. Yes. It'll be helmed by Jason Heher, best known for The Last Dance. I think that was something about Michael Jordan, wasn't it, I believe? A 10-part documentary event. Yeah. Which was co-production between ESPN and Netflix from 2020. Production on the yet-to-be-titled documentary has been ongoing since early 2023. Speaking briefly about the upcoming project, Heher said, "I've been fascinated with the guy my whole life because I know there's a human being underneath that two-dimensional facade we see culturally. It's always been an interest of mine." This suggests that the documentary will likely offer a fresh perspective on the iconic musician's life, focusing on the man behind the myth. Are you looking forward to the upcoming documentary on Netflix? Let me know by calling in later. If you are watching this on Catch Up, please leave your comments below. And that is that's Jason Heher. Okay, then we also have this, which was Conversations on Elvis, and this was on Thursday. I think it was on the main stage in the complex at Graceland, and the event which took place on the Graceland soundstage. Actually, I correct myself. The most notable news from the session came with an appearance by Elvis Presley's enterprise managing partner Joel Weinshanker. Weinshanker typically uses the Conversations events to deliver a kind of State of Elvis address, teased several upcoming plans involving Graceland. Weinshanker noted that 2027 will mark 50 years since Elvis's passing, and the organisation has mapped a Road to 50, which includes various development projects. We're going to be announcing things and doing new things every 3 or 4 months. Wow, that's a big project then, Weinshanker said. Some things on the mansion's grounds, some things the public can experience, but everything is going to elevate Elvis's legacy, which is good news. We're going to have 3 or 4 new buildings on the mansion property between now and then. 3 or 4 new buildings. There are some of the things that Elvis would have done himself. Weinshanker confirmed plans to build an on-site recording studio at Graceland. All right. Okay. Interesting. He said not only was a studio something Elvis always wanted, but something he designed. Architectural plans for this still exist. Wow. Okay. Joel also confirmed Baz Luhrmann was working on a documentary about the singer. I probably shouldn't have said that, Weinshanker said. Oops, sorry, Baz. Well, we already know about that. He hasn't really let the cat out of the bag with that. Of course, he's remastering and recutting and re-editing the Elvis on Tour, and that's the way it is footage. So, yeah, again, you can ring me later on with your thoughts on those 4 or 5 new, is it 4 or 5 or 3 or 4 new buildings on the Graceland property? Yeah, 3 or 4 new buildings, one of those being a recording studio. Alrighty, right, yeah, interesting. Now, let's have a look. We are going to do the quiz. I see Arkansas Dave. Hi, Dave is in the building. He's going to help me moderate. I didn't see Chris yet, but I was looking down at my notes, so maybe Chris is in the building and I just missed her. So, yeah. Now, if you said This Is Elvis was the subject of the quiz, you're wrong. If you said Elvis on Tour, you're wrong. Oh, this is a clue. What is that still from? When I said Rainy Night in Georgia, I said Hot Time in Florida, Rainy Night in Georgia, I was giving you a clue about Follow That Dream. Yes, because obviously, as we know, it was set in Florida. Some of it was filmed in Florida. So Dylan says, is it Follow That Dream? Yes, it is Follow That Dream. Yeah. Yeah, it is Follow That Dream. Okay, Dylan, you thought it was Elvis on Tour, I believe. So, yeah, 6 questions coming up about the movie Follow That Dream and its soundtrack. And I'm going to use blue today. All right. And I expect they can rent a recording studio out, which is make money for Graceland. Oh, yes. Well, that's what they're going to do. They're going to sort of use it as a place for today's musicians to record, but they're going to sort of, the big selling point is on hallowed ground where Elvis recorded his jungle room sessions and things like that. So, yeah. Rebel Vegan says, Elvis's favorite color. I'm going to do blue. Okay. Now, before I do the quiz, this is the last live show until the 8th of September because I'm going on vacation. So this will be the last one. This will be the last week of Fan of the Month for August. So it's a short month. So I wonder who will win that. I am going to leave you with something, though, to watch while I'm away. I did an interview yesterday, and it's in the can. It's just got to be edited in post-production. I'm hoping to get it all done and dusted and uploaded before I go away. Thank you, Sandra. That's very nice. You will be missed, Steve. Thank you very much. The interview will divide people. I know it will divide Elvis fans because, unfortunately, this person... this topic has been dividing Elvis fans and the Elvis world for the last 50 odd years. So I don't expect this to be any different. There are some bombshells near the end of the interview, but I would urge everybody to Rebel Vegan says Sundays are not the same without your show. Very kind. Thank you very, very much. That's very kind of you. So there are some bombshells at the end of the interview, near the end of the interview. I do urge everybody to give it a chance and enter it with an open mind and see what you think. So, okay, right. That's just a little heads up for you that I will be uploading in the next 48 hours a brand new interview. But unfortunately, as I say, it is a little bit emotive and it will divide fans. But I suppose that's what it's all about. A nice little bit of healthy debate as well. Right, so here we go. Follow That Dream. Eyes down for a full house. When was Follow That Dream released in the US? And it is a multi-choice question. Was it January the 8th, 1962, Elvis's birthday, February the 11th, 1962, or April the 11th, 1962? Now, well, Dorian says 1962, but I need the actual month and date. Dylan says February the 11th. Mm-hmm. Well, there's a few people quickly off the mark, but it does look like the first person to say April the 11th, 1962 was Duncan Campbell. Duncan, you get this new short. Well, it was new a couple of weeks ago. New short jingle.
Somebody scratched my back. I got an itch.
Right. Okay, so that's the first one down. Now, the second one. Excuse me. Which future singer met Elvis on the set of Follow That Dream? Now, do we know that? A little sip from my Sun Studio beaker. Okay. A lot of people saying Tom Petty. You know your stuff. You definitely know your stuff. And quick off the mark. And we'll be hearing from this young man in a few minutes with Dylan's Elvis Tales. And it was Tom Petty. And the first person was Dylan.
Somebody scratched my back. I got an itch.
Right. Another multiple choice question coming up on Follow That Dream. And it is, on initial release, what did Follow That Dream make at the US Canadian box office? Was it $2.8 million, $5 million, or $1.5 million? Yeah. What do you think? Dylan says 5. Brian says 2.8. Susan 2.8. Vicky says 1.8. I says 1.5. Okay. Now, it does look like it was Duncan again. Let's have a look. Duncan said $2.8 million, and it was, in fact, $2.8 million. Unfortunately, yeah, Vicky says, oh no, oh man, a typo. Right, okay, so well done, Duncan. You get 2 in a row.
Somebody scratched my back. I got an itch.
Well, not 2 in a row, but you get 2. Right, okay. Now, oh, you know when you get a little itch in your eye sometimes. Ooh. Okay, here we go. What album followed Follow That Dream EP? Let's have a look, see who is going to be first off the mark. What album followed Follow That Dream? Oh, now, Tracy looks like it was the first. Then Mike M. John Riley says Fun in Acapulco. Colin Waters says Elvis for Everyone. Mark Green says Potluck as well. Potluck seems to be quite popular. Is it the right answer? Yes, it is the right answer. The album that came after Follow That Dream was Potluck. So, who was the first? It looks like it was Tracy Heenan. Well done, Tracy. Although probably Dave told me that, did he? Okay, right. Tracy, you get the...
Somebody scratched my back. I got an itch.
Okay, Tracy Heenan. Congratulations, Tracy. Did Elvis ever have a potluck at Graceland? What? I don't know what you mean by that, Dave. Sorry. Right. Now, next one is what song was recorded for Follow That Dream and Kid Galahad, but only used in Kid Galahad. Wasn't used in Follow That Dream. Now, what do you think? Dylan says, was it I Got Lucky? No, unfortunately not. Brian, Manfred. Oh, John's saying I Got Lucky as well. I'm Not the Marrying Kind. Colin, whistling tune. But believe it or not, it was a whistling tune, and he recorded it at both sessions. He recorded sessions for Follow That Dream and Kid Galahad, but it was only used for Kid Galahad. And it is Tracy Heenan. Again, wow. If you keep going like that, you're going to be on course for the prize. Brian's prize is on its way from last month. He gets another CD. He gets the second volume of the first. He got the first volume there the month before, and now he's getting volume 2. Now, let's have a look. Tracy.
Somebody scratched my back. I got an itch.
Now, this final question of the month, because as I said earlier, I'm not back now until the 8th of September. Sunday, the 8th of September is the next live show, but I am going to leave you with a video to watch while I'm gone. It's an interview, and hopefully I'll get it uploaded either tomorrow or Tuesday. Now, multiple choice question: who plays piano on Follow That Dream recording sessions? Is it Gordon Stoker, Dudley Brooks, or Floyd Kramer? Who plays piano on Follow That Dream recording sessions? Gordon Stoker, Dudley Brooks, or Floyd Kramer? Okay. A lot of Floyd Kramers coming in. Do you think it might be Floyd Kramer? I think it is Floyd Kramer. Now, who was the first person to say Floyd Kramer? Was it Dylan? Wow. Yeah, it was. It was Dylan. So, Dylan, you You got, well, yeah, let's have a look at this. There was only 3 people, was there, this week. And it was Duncan, Dylan, and Tracy. Those 3 people really ruled the roost this week. Dylan?
Somebody scratched my back. I got an itch.
Okay. Now, we are going to go into the topic next, and then we're going to have a poll, and then we're going to have Dylan, I believe. I think that's the way I'm going to do it this week. Now, the topic, yes. Now, you may have seen this resurrect its ugly head this week, because during Elvis Week, they always rehash a lot of old stories and old bits of information and things like this. And this one originally originates from 2019, so 5 years ago. But I just thought I'd resurrect it as well on this program, and you can let me know what you think. But in 2019, Ian Anderson told why he refused an audience with Elvis. Jethro Tull frontman Ian Anderson said, "We were playing in Las Vegas around the time of the stand-up album in 1969. Now that's very, very important. Just remember that, 1969, okay? "We were dragged by the scruff of the neck to some casino where he was appearing. I was never really a big Elvis fan, but I suppose the first couple of songs that were ever recorded were part of my childhood fascination with music." Anderson wasn't impressed with what he saw. Here we go. Remember, this was 1969. "I was just appalled by the commerciality and the triteness of it all, and he was clearly out of his head." Okay. "He was slurring his words. He didn't know where he was. He would stop the band halfway through his song. It just wasn't the way to see Elvis." Now, we've seen footage, we've heard recordings from 1969. We've seen, obviously, footage from the year later, 1970. Okay. "They said, 'Elvis would like to see you in his dressing room.' I replied, 'Tell Mr. Elvis that it's really great honor to have been here tonight, but we've got a show tomorrow. We're a bit tired and we need an early night.' And they said, 'No, you're not listening. Elvis will see you backstage in the dressing room.' I thought, this is not an invitation, it's an instruction. I felt so embarrassed for Elvis, and I didn't want to make things even worse, and he obviously had no idea who we were, no matter what they said." In case you aren't familiar with Jethro Tull, they are a British rock band formed in Blackpool, Lancashire in 1967. Initially playing blues, rock and jazz fusion, the band soon incorporated elements of English folk music, hard rock and classical music, forging a signature progressive rock sound. And that is Jethro Tull. Now, I am a little bit confused about that, especially his description of Elvis's show in 1969, and also not wishing to meet Elvis Presley. Given the opportunity to meet Elvis Presley and not see him. Sandra P says, "Jealous much. Sight for sore eyes." Yeah, he was off his head. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Vincenzo says, "I never liked Jethro Tull. Embarrassed for Elvis in 1969. Yeah, right." This is just something that's just not adding up quite right with that story, is there? It just, and he's fairly clear that it was in 1969 because they were there for what they call the stand-up album. And when I looked at Jethro Tull, the stand-up album was actually in 1969. So, yeah, Rebel Vegan says they don't look like Elvis fans. Elvis was okay. Jethro was a lot of... Oh, right, okay. Right, all right. Okay, now, if you want to ring me what you think about that story, then please do. And don't forget, you can also ring me about the plans that Graceland have for building on the mansion grounds. One of the buildings being an Elvis... a recording studio. I beg your pardon, not an Elvis studio, a recording studio, and anything else you wish. But we will come to the calls in a minute. But first of all, we're going to do the poll, and kindly suggested by Dylan, actually, and he what did he do? He sent me some pictures, yeah, and this is basically what it is. I'll start the poll first, and then I'll show you the pictures. Okay, so here we go. Now, the poll is: which is your favorite two-piece? The navy with multicolored arrows, the red armadillo. Oh, I'll take Jethro Tull off there because they're annoying me. Number 3, which is the blue armadillo. Or finally, number 4, which is white with blue shoulders. Okay? So let's just go through those again, and I will remind you as we go along. All right? But you can vote on those. And what I'm seeing here is... there you are. Number 1, the navy with multicolor arrows. The red armadillo. The blue armadillo, or finally the white with blue shoulders. Now, I do have sort of one of those with all 4 together. So what I'll do is I might put that up later, which is that there. Okay, so that is what I'm asking you to vote on this week. Now, we move on. And I think it's about time we did this. Dylan's Elvis Tales. Bum, bum. Yes, it's that time of week when we go and we speak to this young man here. And I say, hello, Dylan.
Hello, Steve. Good evening. How are you?
Good evening to you, young sir. How have you been all week?
I've been on edge all week.
On edge?
I've been scrambling so hard to find photographs and reviews, all according to this tale.
Now, it's nice that you take it so passionately. This Elvis Dylan's Tales. It really is.
Well, yeah, because I want people to know the truth behind these things.
Of course, yes.
Like, I don't want to give some people some nonsense tale. I want something that actually happened.
Yeah, of course, of course.
So I can tell it.
So the stage is yours, young man.
All right. So the base actually goes back to 1970 at first.
Okay.
And it's the red macrame belt, which I believe you've got a photo of.
Yeah, there it is. I will put that up there. That the red macrame belt.
Yeah, and this was worn with suits like the nail swirl, the chain, the white metal eye, suits like that.
Okay.
And when Elvis last wore it in 1970, because Elvis was so generous, he gave it away to a fan.
Oh.
Because that's how it was, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is where the payoff really is, because this is a zinger, let me tell you this.
Okay.
So 2 years later, August 20th, 1972, dinner show. The girl who he gave the belt to was in the crowd that night, right?
Uh-huh.
So she decides to go up to the stage, gets the belt out of her purse or handbag, gives it to Elvis, and he puts it around his waist and he says, "Oh, thank you, honey, thank you," and then decides to wear it for a couple of the shows that engagement.
That's amazing. That's a story I never heard. How did I become a fan of over 50 years and not heard that? Or maybe I heard it and forgot it.
Well, let me tell you, my ears almost fell off when I heard this. I was like, there is no way on God's green earth this actually happened. Well, I've seen the little bit of footage that's available for myself, and it did indeed happen. You can just see the girl giving him the belt and him saying thank you to the girl. So it did happen.
What was the date again?
August 20th, 1972, dinner show, which is actually in 2 days' time.
Oh yes, that's right. Now, so we need to find the footage, don't we? You say you've seen the footage, yeah?
Well, I've seen the footage that's available. The moment where he's given the belt is in private hands.
Oh.
But there's 3 minutes of footage from the show that can be seen in public. So that bit I've seen, but obviously I've not seen the bit where he gets the belt.
That's fascinating. That really is fascinating. Thanks very much for that. Now, now I'm going to ask you what you would have voted for the two-piece.
This was easy money for me. The white with the blue shoulders.
By the way, people can see that. I'm just wondering now, people can see that poll, can't they, to vote on? Can you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's there, isn't it? That's all right. Okay, I wasn't sure I clicked on it properly. So, sorry, say again what?
The white two-piece with the blue shoulders.
White with blue shoulders, number 4, option number 4. Well. Yeah. He was going to tell us. You've gone, unfortunately.
Fine with it.
Say that again. Yes, repeat that. Yeah, you've gone again, unfortunately. Yeah.
Wait, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah, just for a second, you dropped. Yeah.
What's the name? Oh yeah. So I saw some photos of Elvis in '75 in Vegas with it. Yeah. And that's what hooked me. I'm like, all right, that's the one I'm going to vote for. So that's one I've picked.
Brilliant. And finally, what do you think of these new buildings that's going to be arriving on the Graceland Mansion estate?
I like the idea of having a studio there because, like, artists can go and record, and like, even Riley can go and do some stuff if she wants to. Because, like, people forget, like, as well as being an actress, she is a very, very good singer. So, I mean, if she can do some songs there, that'd be fantastic.
And what recording artist wouldn't want to record in the hallowed grounds of Graceland as well? So I think it's going to be a bit of a money spinner for them. I really do.
It is, but it's going to be one of those money spenders that are positive rather than negative, because like you do get kind of people that are making money out of Elvis in like a negative way. But I think this will be a very positive thing.
I'm wondering what the other two buildings will be. Well, or two or three buildings if they're going to do a recording studio as well. I wonder what the other buildings could be. Maybe
like an exhibition, maybe to. Not celebrate, so maybe commemorate the 50th anniversary, perhaps.
Yeah. But there's a lot to look forward to anyway.
There is indeed.
All right, young man, I'll speak to you in a couple of weeks because I'm off on vacation.
You will?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. All the best.
You too.
Dylan's Elvis Tales. That was young Dylan and a fascinating story about the red macrame belt. And let's see who else we have here. We have, I tell you what we have. We have Vincenzo. Hi, Vincenzo.
Hi, Steve, can you hear me?
Yeah. Now, what do you want to talk about? Do you want to talk about the two-piece jumpsuits?
Yeah.
Which one would you have picked?
The blue armadillo.
The blue armadillo. Okay. All right. Let's see now. That is number 3, I believe. Yeah, that one there. Number 3, the blue armadillo. That is the one that Vincenzo's going for. And what do you think of these new buildings that's going to be going up on the Graceland estate?
I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, like Dylan said, it's a good idea for the recording studio, isn't it? Especially as Riley can actually record some stuff while she's there as well, because he says she's a really, really good singer.
Yeah.
So, any idea what you think the other buildings might be?
Maybe if you maybe something like Dylan said to commemorate the 50th anniversary.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it, to think that it's only 3 years away now? Is that right?
I know.
Unbelievable. Were you watching much of the Elvis Week stuff?
Yeah.
Hey, what do you think?
I like the interview with Larry Geller.
Oh yeah, Larry's always good. Yeah, I like Larry. What do you think of that Ian Anderson and saying about Elvis in 1969?
Maybe it was the other way around. Maybe Elvis didn't want to meet them.
Yeah, that could have been it. And maybe Ian Anderson was incapacitated, not Elvis, because we know how top of his game Elvis was in 1969.
Yeah.
All right, nice to hear from you, Vincenzo. Speak to you in a couple of weeks. Thank you very much. All the best. Yeah. Bye. Okay, and moving on, we have we have Tanya. Hello, Tanya.
Hello, Steve. How you doing?
I'm doing really well. How are you?
I'm good.
Okay, what would you like to talk about?
I found it very morbid to see the Elvis clothes in the mansion.
All right. I think you sent
Yeah.
me some pictures of those, didn't you?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So they are actually in the mansion. That looks like it's somewhere near the jungle room. That one. That's the leather suit. There's another one in the pool room by the pool table, and let's have a look. Hang on. There's another one coming around as well. A black one in the dining room, and finally, I think there's one near the stairs, isn't there? Is that correct? Let's have a look. Yeah, one actually halfway up the stairs. So you don't agree with them doing that?
I don't, because it's kind of morbid, and if there was I know Gladys spirit around, she wouldn't enjoy that much.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I suppose, I mean, they display them across the road in the complex. Is there a difference between doing that and doing it actually inside Graceland? Do you think there is, yeah?
I think maybe like display them in the museum part where all the other things are. I think it was the recording room before.
Yeah. Okay.
There.
What do you think of these plans to build on Graceland?
I think they should build a cinema there, because Elvis liked to go to cinema in the middle of the night.
Yeah. Well, they have a cinema over the road as far as I know, don't they?
Yeah.
The recording studio, probably a very, very good idea, because people will, I think, queue up to record. Bands will and artists will queue up to record in the hallowed grounds of Graceland. You know, the magic. They're hoping that the magic of Elvis will rub off on them.
Yeah, I think maybe a cinema as well.
Yeah.
Did it mention any other information apart from recording studio?
They just said a recording studio and other buildings. So yeah, it's an interesting time, that's for sure.
I do want to mention that Graceland are putting up a special Presley Day, which costs £6,000
Wow.
in US dollars.
When's that happening?
Beginning of September.
And what do you get for your $6,000?
So far, walk around with a horse in the Graceland meadow.
Okay.
Have a barbecue dinner or something.
And is there any special guests like Priscilla or anybody like that, or Riley? Because I know that Priscilla did a meet and greet behind Graceland one year with a barbecue, didn't she?
They didn't mention that yet, but
well, for $6,000, you'd want to meet somebody special, quite close to the sort of the Presley family, and I'm thinking maybe Riley.
I think for that price, I want to be invited upstairs.
Yeah, well, we've discussed that many, many times, actually. And, we do believe that one day upstairs will happen. Although there is a compromise. We've said this many times. Why don't they just film upstairs in 4K and show it? And then other people say, well, that's his private quarters. There's no need for it to be shown. So, yeah. But, yeah, for $6,000, you'd want to go upstairs.
Do you think the bedroom would be modernised now, or would it be?
Well, apparently it's supposed to be exactly the same as the day that he left it. But then there's another story that workers were called in when there was a leak or something like that, and they were called up there and they found that it was empty apart from Lisa's area. Lisa's bedroom was still functional because she stayed at the time, but his bedroom and bathroom was just gutted. But I don't know what to believe. I would like to think that it's still the same as it was when he left.
It might be an empty room.
Yeah, which would be sad, kind of, wouldn't it? But people have to go up there and maintain it because, I mean, it still has to be cleaned and dusted every so often. So, yeah,
I'd like to see Elvis's office and his bedroom for that amount of money, anyway.
Yeah, I don't think I'd be that keen to see the bathroom. It would just be too morbid for me. Right.
He had a big bed, apparently.
He did, 9 foot by 9 foot. Lovely. Can I ask you about the favorite two-piece jumpsuit? Which would be your favorite?
I think it was number 1.
Oh, the navy with multicolored arrows.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll show that on the screen. That's the one you've picked, number 1. Yeah. Okay, I'll tell you later, actually, which is my favorite. Tanya, it's been absolutely a pleasure speaking to you. Thank you very, very much for calling in.
I could talk all day, but I'm sure other people are waiting.
Yeah, I could talk all day about Elvis as well. All right, bless you, and look after yourself.
Okay, you too. Have
Bye-bye.
a nice trip on holiday.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye. That was Tanya, and we move on. And next on the list is Mark. Hello, Mark.
Hello, Steve. How you doing?
Ah, good man. How are you today?
I'm all right. Not too bad.
So, have you been enjoying Elvis Week? Have you been doing much and catching up with it?
Yeah. I've been doing quite a lot. I had a big sold-out show last night, so we celebrated the 47th year. It was full house. Everybody up singing, dancing. It was great.
Great.
Fantastic. Yeah. I've been watching quite a lot of stuff on YouTube where I can this week. I happened to see a good interview this afternoon with Joe Esposito's ex-wife.
Oh, right.
I wondered if you could get her on the channel.
Is it Joni?
I think so. Yeah, the one she was on vacation with in '77.
Right.
Yeah, she's got a new book out, hasn't she? Apparently.
Right. I mean, I didn't think she was still alive. That's something I learned there. Yeah. No, I thought Joni had left us.
No, you don't know what I mean. She was married to Joe. She met Joe in the early '70s. I think they got together then. Well, I think that they were married for a short while. I'm not sure.
Oh, you don't mean Shirley Dew?
Sure.
No, I don't. I don't think they were married. I don't think they were married.
Right,
people can correct me, but she was just Joe's girlfriend. Yeah, she was at Elvis Week. Yeah, she was at Elvis Week.
Yeah, but she had some real good stories to tell, and she was really she often because the guy said to him about she was there on the 1977 vacation in Hawaii in March.
Yes, that's right. There's photographs of her and Elvis. Yes,
and she just said how that's obviously Joe took all those pictures because he liked doing photography.
Yeah,
and it started off with one, and then Elvis was calling the girls over her, and then it started off, and that's how all them pictures come. And she said, I have actually got some other pictures of me and Elvis together as well,
Yeah.
So there might be a few that we haven't seen and a few that we have, but I know there is a few because I've got a book with quite a few of them in. But she's just talking about, and he was just saying, well, it's nice that you was just around Elvis because it was Elvis the man then. It wasn't about Elvis the entertainer.
Yeah, it was just somebody. It was just somebody who was on holiday.
Yeah, she said what a great joker he was and all that, and you see him on that vacation in a pair of tracksuit bottoms and a sports top and just a t-shirt.
Yeah,
and he looked a normal guy. He wasn't that big. But she said, you stick him in a really tight '77 jumpsuit. He had a little bit of a pouch, but nothing. But that made him look bigger than he really was.
Yeah, of course. Of course, yeah.
And all that, so that was nice, and she just, just talking about the times I had that, and do you know how she actually met him?
No, go on.
She met Joe and Elvis. Well, there was some girls. She said some friends of hers who wanted to go and see Elvis in 1970, I think it was, and they couldn't get seats and stuff. So she said, she couldn't get seats for her, and she didn't really want to go on her own. And apparently, when she went the second time, I think it was or something, she happened to get a seat. It wasn't a seat she wanted, and then the girls were split up again. But she was down the front, so she was quite close to Elvis, But I think it was somebody then in the entourage or somebody in the Hilton International Hotel said to her, "Oh, do you want some other seats?" And she said, "Oh no, I'm happy because I'm right close to Elvis." Like, well, we can put you in the booze. And she said, "Oh, I've seen fans that go into the booze." And she said, and she ended up being in the booth.
Right.
She didn't realise, and halfway through the show, Elvis introduces obviously friends who are in there. Introduces his father. His father stands up in the booth, and suddenly you realise she's sitting next to Vernon.
Ah, right, right.
Yeah. And she said that's how she kind of then met Joe, and we went out for quite a long time, and then obviously they came boyfriend and girlfriend, for until the end, of of Elvis's life. I think it was anyway.
Yeah.
So she has some real good.
Well, actually, when I come back off vacation, I might see if I can contact her, and get her on the show. Yeah, good idea.
I believe she's got a book out, Princess Mafia, I think it's
Memphis Mafia Princess, yes.
That's it, yeah. So she's out to obviously promote that.
Yeah. Okay. Right. We'll move on. What do you want to talk about? Will I ask you the favorite? Yeah. The favorite two-piece. What do you think?
The blue one for me.
Right.
Yeah.
The blue armadillo. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's number 3, I believe. Yeah, that's the one.
Number 3. Yeah, I always think Elvis always looked good in blue as well. Pale blue or dark blue. He always looked good in blue.
Yeah. And it was his favorite color as well.
yeah, of course. Yeah.
What do you think of the Jethro Tull story?
Well, it's his loss, isn't it?
It was definitely his loss. But what do you think of his description of a 1969 show? I don't think that's right. Yeah. Elvis wasn't like that in 1969. He was very rarely like that on stage anyway.
No, he was on fire, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Enjoyed it. Yeah, loose as anything, wasn't he? He was probably more looser than anything because he was learning his craft, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He got more smart and got more of a showman as the years went on. But 69, he was like a tiger, wasn't he?
Yeah, he definitely wasn't slurring his words. He knew where he was, that's for sure. He wasn't stopping the band halfway through songs. I think Mr. Anderson is getting his wires crossed.
Yeah, I think so. I think he's probably getting mixed up with maybe the 1 or 2 shows where Elvis weren't on par, but that's a long way away from.
Exactly. It definitely wasn't 1969 anyway.
No.
And what about these new projects that's going to be going on in Graceland on the actual grounds?
Yeah, well, I kind of expected a few things to happen there because obviously in the next few years it's the 50th, so there's going to be a lot of things going on. The recording studio, to me, it's a good idea, but I think it's going to be another money spinner. I reckon they're going to use this as a part of, obviously you might get some bands recording there and some artists, but then it'll be used for a VIP tour. That you actually pay, and you might then find out if you pay, you get to record a song in there.
True. Good point.
Yeah, I think so. I think they're not daft, are they?
No.
They like to make money. They always have. I know that they always say they got the heart, of Elvis in interest, but I think you'll find down the line it'll be part of the VIP tour. You'll have to pay the top notch for it, but if you want to do it, you can do it.
Yeah. Well, they Graceland takes a lot of money to run as well, so they have to make money as well. So.
Yeah, that's it, and it's a new interest, isn't it? It's like if you go to some recordings, isn't it? Because I've gone to some recordings and I've sang myself there and paid for a disc. So so it could happen. They could call it like the mini jungle room that you go and sing a song in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All right, Mark. Yeah. Always nice to speak to you. All righty. Thanks a lot. Bye. Bye. That was Mark. Always a great call. And we move on and we say, what do we say? Well, I can see that Susan is wanting to speak to me, but she actually has her mic muted. So what Susan needs to do is she does actually need to take her mic off mute. And I think she's just done that. And I think she should be able to hear me now. Hi, Susan.
Hi, Steve. How are you?
Young Susan, it's a pleasure to speak to you. We know you as Elvis Memories on Discord, don't we?
That is me.
Great to talk to you. Right, now you've got a story for me, haven't you?
Well, I do, and it just happened actually on the 16th of all days, and I wanted to share it with everybody. It just touched me so much.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, just briefly. I'm from a small city in Iowa called Sioux City, and
okay, if you want to say that again, you're from a small city where? Sorry.
I'm from Sioux City, Iowa.
Okay.
I grew up, lived there, and I was deciding I wanted to look up to see if Elvis ever performed there in concert. And I was born in 1961, so I know during my life he wasn't there, but I found that he was there in May of 1956.
Oh, right.
And I know, and I was reading the article in our local newspaper from then, and it was a scathing review, of course, 1950s. They were talking about the gyrations.
Oh, yeah.
Awful, and, his hair and his clothes were odd, and he's just a flash in the pan. And I kept reading. I was kind of disappointed in my local paper, and I kept reading, and it mentioned a young teenager who called out all of these critics on their negative reviews, and she defended Elvis, and she said, one of the quotes was, "It may be a fad, but let's just wait and see what he does." And then she also said, "Who cares about his hair or his sideburns? That's his business."
Exactly.
So I was saying, "Go girl, hey, another Iowan, good going, my fellow Iowan."
Yes.
And as I kept reading, but Steve, as I kept reading, they brought her name on the paper, and her first name was Lorraine, and her last name was my grandmother's maiden name.
Oh.
And it's a small town, and it was an unusual last name, so I had to believe that maybe in some way I was related to this Lorraine, and it was just so intriguing to me.
Well, it does sound a very strong possibility, doesn't it?
I have no family living, so I had no one to ask and find out about, and my father hadn't talked about a lot of his family beyond his immediate family. So I searched cemetery records online, and I did find my grandmother and 4 of her brothers where they were buried and everything. And I still couldn't find if there was an offspring. And ironically, the name of the cemetery is Graceland.
Say that again.
The name of the cemetery that they're buried in is Graceland Park in Sioux City, Iowa.
Oh, my goodness me. Yeah, right.
Well, yesterday, a friend guided me to look on a website that the Mormon Church sponsors at the genealogical free site, just to look up basic things. And I put her name in. And sure enough, it came up that her father was my dad's uncle. So she's my first cousin once removed.
My goodness, what a fascinating story.
And I was so fascinated and thrilled, and I thought to myself, at the age of 17, to stand up in the 50s to newspaper writers and her passion for Elvis and being brave to defend him, I was just so intrigued. And that's me today. When I hear bad things about Elvis on TV or on the radio, I'm the first one to email. I'm the first one to call it out.
Yeah, I'm the same as well. As when I hear something like that, it's just something. It's like something. There's a switch that's thrown in me, and I just have to defend him.
The fact that this Lorraine did this at 17 back in 1956, I was so honored to know that she's a family member. I don't know if she's still living. I'm still searching for that. But if she is and I find her, I'll let you all know.
Yeah, and wouldn't it be great to get her on the show as well?
It just touched me so much, and I had to share it.
Yeah, well, that's a great story, Susan. I'm really grateful that you'd come on. Can I ask you about the 2-piece jumpsuits?
Oh, number 3, the blue armadillo.
The blue armadillo. There it is on the screen. That's your favorite. Yeah. Okay, that's the one you voted for. What about this? Do you know much about Jethro Tull and this Ian Anderson? What do you think he was going on about?
Well, I don't listen to his music, but I think it's a form of jealousy and trying to be, acting like he didn't need to talk to Elvis. They're too important.
Yeah, but he definitely got his wires crossed about the way Elvis was performing in 1969. I mean, that is not the way Elvis was in 1969. We know that.
No, we sure do. There's no way. I just think it was just misinformation or just jealousy, and they didn't have time to see him.
I think he elaborated on the story is the kindest thing I can say.
Yeah. For sure.
Are you in agreement with building on the Graceland grounds?
It depends on what they build, I think. I don't want them to destroy the property in any way as far as, what it was when he was there. I don't want any of that to be disturbed. If something is there like a museum or like the sound studio, because that's what he wanted to, but I don't want it to be like an amusement thing. They just make it into just a huge amusement area.
Yeah. Okay, lovely to speak to you, Susan. Thank you very, very much for calling in, and please do call in again. Now you've done it once, you realize how easy it is.
It is, and have a wonderful vacation, Steve.
Thank you very much. All the best. Bye. Bye. Yes, now there you are. What a great story. Fantastic story. And if we could, just imagine if we could find that sweet lady Lorraine and get her on the show and she can tell us all about it. Wouldn't that be fantastic? This day in Elvis history. Yes, this day in Elvis history. Of course, what we do is every week on this particular day that it falls on, August the 18th is this Sunday. So we're going to look and see what Elvis was doing on this day down the years. And I've got 1954, August the 18th, 1954. Elvis, Scotty and Bill played at Bellevue Park in Memphis. Then we've got 1956. We've got Elvis was photographed at the Knickerbocker Hotel. There he is coming in through the door with Jean, where he was staying. He traveled to the West Coast to begin work on his first movie, Love Me Tender, which was at the time called The Reno Brothers. Yes, and then he went up on the roof after he was. Some pictures were taken in his room, and as you can see, he's making a telephone call from the roof. That's very strange. Wonder what he was doing. Was he calling his mom? Could have been calling his mom, I suppose. What else have we got? There's some photographs of him in the room on the phone again, probably to his mom. Now, what have we got? We've got those pictures. So we have next, now this is a sad one. Elvis's compassionate leave was extended for 5 more days. Memphis police force took Elvis on a helicopter ride over the city to distract and cheer him up. There's Elvis with Eddie Fidel. We know Eddie. Elvis looking very dapper in a waistcoat there. That looks like a police officer next to him. There's another shot with Eddie Fidel, his friend from Texas. I actually spoke to his daughter. There's one. Parker smiling. Elvis absolutely devastated, of course, with him just losing his mother only a few days before. Yeah, I spoke to his daughter, and it is actually on here on the playlist under people from the Elvis world. If you want to, her name's Janice, I believe. I think it's Janice. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's Janice Fidel. So the 1960, we have Flaming Star, and then 1961, Follow That Dream, Viva Las Vegas. Then we have Paradise Hawaiian Style. There he is. Nice shot from Paradise Hawaiian Style. And then we have this one, which is actually OI Hawaiian disc jockey Tom Moffat arranged for Peter Noon of the Herman's Hermits to visit Elvis during the filming. At one point, Peter asked, "Who's your favorite group?" Laughing, Elvis replied, "The Boston Pops." Elvis attended a wind-up party at the Polynesian Cultural Center before he returned to the mainland the following day. And you can see there was lots of kissing and nose rubbing and so forth going on. And Elvis looking very, very handsome with his Hawaiian tan. And he made sure he sat for plenty of photographs. That looks like Charlie Hodge in the back there underneath the window. And there is Peter Noon on the left, head of Herman's Hermits. There's Colonel Parker as well in the hat. Yeah, there's the nose rubbing going on. Elvis looks very dashing there, doesn't he? Okay, so then we have Double Trouble, this day in 1966. And then we have Speedway. And then we have actual principal photography for Speedway was completed on this day in 1967. And then we have Charo. Yes, Charo, of course, in 1968. 1969, Elvis did dinner and midnight shows. And we've got something coming up here for 1969. Back on Track. There you go. Vegas, 18/8/69 dinner show. Then we've got 1970. Elvis did dinner and midnight Vegas shows. That's the Way It Is production. And then we have 1972. Elvis Does It Again. Vegas, 8/18/72 dinner show. 1973, the album Elvis hit number 52 in the US. Elvis did dinner and midnight Vegas shows. And then we have 1975, opening night at the Las Vegas Hilton. Yes, great one there. With a hand puppet, a glove puppet, and oversized shades. And then we have Las Vegas in gypsy style. Okay, big breath, because we know what's coming next. 1977. More than 80,000 mourners surrounded the estate for the funeral service of Elvis Presley at his Graceland estate in Memphis, Tennessee. Florists in the surrounding states were pressed for flower orders. I think the biggest ever sales of flowers was the day after Elvis passed away, I believe. All city buildings in Memphis immediately lowered their flags to half-mast. 300 National Guard troops to the area to maintain order. The funeral service was held at Graceland from 2 to 4 p.m. Wooddale Church of Christ pastor C.W. Bradley led the sermon, which featured a testimonial from comedian Jackie Kahane, who opened Elvis's shows. J.D. Sumner and the Stamps and the Statesmen sang. Kathy Westmoreland performed one of Elvis's favourite hymns, Heavenly Father. Kathy said later she imagined Elvis joking with her, "That's not the way we rehearsed it." So, not a great day 1977-wise. There's Elvis's father being led out of the mausoleum with, that looks like Dick Grubb in the background. And there, the casket being carried in. And look at all those flowers, just a sea of flowers. And yes, Rebel Vegan, that is Lisa Marie. You can see she's just completely and utterly gutted. She's just, she's probably just shocked. So that was this day in 1977 and also down through the years as well. Now, we've got Photoshop next, and it's this one, which is this. And it's a terrible one, really, because you've got Elvis's head photoshopped looking over Marilyn Monroe's shoulder, when, of course, we all know that at that time she was married to Arthur Miller, okay? And the playwright Arthur Miller, her husband. So that basically is the two side by side. Woeful, terrible Photoshop. And if you do have any Photoshops that you want to send in, then please do. You can send them in to the show in the normal ways. And the next thing on, well, I'll just remind you, I think, about the poll if you haven't voted yet. And it is basically this, which is your favorite two-piece? Number 1, which is the navy with multicolored arrows. Number 2, the red armadillo. Number 3, the blue armadillo. Or number 4, the white with blue shoulders. So those are the ones I'm asking you to vote on. I particularly liked a lot of the two-piece, and I liked a lot of the shirts and pants that he wore in the 1972 time frame. Some really, really good ones. Tanya says they are all hot, Steve. Yes. And Rebel Vegan says, yes, terrible Photoshop. Yeah, I don't know why that would be anybody's idea of wanting to show something good, and how anybody would believe it as well, when clearly it should be Arthur Miller. Now we're going to do this, and this is Elvis at the piano. So if there's a song that you wish Elvis had sung in concert, accompanying himself on the piano, send your songs in now to elvistheultimatefanchannel@gmail.com, or you can send them to me on Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, Twitter, or Facebook under Elvis the Ultimate Fan Channel. That's where you'll find me. So this is it, and it basically is chosen by me. I've indulged myself and chosen one for Elvis at the piano this week. Where Could I Go But to the Lord? Recorded May 27th, 1966 at RCA Studio B in Nashville. Released on February the 27th, 1967 on the Grammy Award-winning album How Great Thou Art. And it actually won Best Sacred Performance category. Elvis also performed it as part of the gospel sequence in his 1968 NBC TV special. Coming Down the Steps, burgundy suit, how fantastic does he look? Just absolutely brilliant. I really wished he'd sat down at the piano during a live show and performed it. Can you imagine the great job Elvis and the backup singers would have done? So there you are. That's my Elvis at the piano. I wished he'd sat down and sung live in concert. And you can send yours in, please. Please do send them in. A song that you wished Elvis had sung live at the piano. It doesn't have to be an Elvis song. It can be any song that's sort of piano heavy or could use piano. Send them to me, Elvis the Ultimate Fan Channel, gmail.com, or those other 4 platforms as well. So, yes. Let's move on to I Wish Elvis Had Recorded. And I've really indulged myself this week because I've chose this one as well. I heard this on the radio during the week, and it's The First Cut is the Deepest. In 1967, a song written by Cat Stevens, originally released by P.P. Arnold, it went to number 18 in the United States and was released by Stevens himself for his second studio album, New Masters. In 1977, a lot of people will be actually familiar with this version. Rod Stewart released this version and it went to number 1 in the United Kingdom and number 21 in the United States and New Zealand. In 2003, Sheryl Crow released her version on her greatest hits album, The Very Best of Sheryl Crow. It went to number 14 in the United States, number 37 in the United Kingdom, 22 in Scotland, and 19 in New Zealand. The lyrics describe a person wondering if and how is it possible to love again after their first love was lost. The first cut of the title refers to one's first love disappointment. And the lyrics go, I would have given you all of my love, but there is someone that's torn it apart, and she's taken just all that I had. But if you want, I'll try to love again. So, as I say, a lot of you will probably be familiar with the Rod Stewart version, but I'm going to link below the P.P. Arnold version. And a lot of people are saying that that is the best version that they know of. The First Cut is the Deepest. Now, you can send me in your suggestions for songs you wish Elvis had recorded. Again, sort of... I think I have it here, actually. Yes, I do. Yeah, you can send underrated songs, Photoshop, smoking hot photos. We're going to get to smoking hot soon, don't worry. Songs you wish Elvis had sung live, funny caption photos, all those sort of things. Send them in to me. You can email them in to me, or you can send them on those other 4 platforms. Now we have this. Caption the photo. Ba-dum-bum. Yeah, we always have a great lot of fun with this. I normally post it on the community tab on a Tuesday. I won't be doing it this Tuesday because I'll be on vacation for the next 2 weeks. Just to remind you, I'm not live again until the 8th of September, Sunday, the 8th of September. This was the Caption, and here's some of the ones that I liked but didn't quite win. They didn't get enough thumbs ups. So it was, seriously, I made this face to Colonel Parker behind his back. Look, I bit my tongue. Honey, I don't need your opinion on how I should style my hair, so there. Honey, I know you're not French, but that's just what it's called. Sorry, honey, but I can't kiss you. Look, the creeping crud got my tongue. I'm not being rude. Red took a wild swing and accidentally connected with my bottom lip, making it look like I'm sticking out my tongue. Yes, some really, really good ones there. The runner-up was Vincenzo Redente, and it's My tongue gets tired when I try to speak, my inside shake like a leaf on a tree, which of course is All Shook Up. But the winner... with 17 likes. Well done, Dylan Bowen. Yes, we were talking to Dylan earlier on, and it is I Know Every Lick on the Guitar, Honey. That's the winner. Well done. Yes, and Dylan gets a round of applause. So we'll have a caption this photo in 2 weeks. In fact, it'll probably be the 2nd or the 3rd of September when I've come back, and I'll start doing all the work for the next show, the first show, the 8th of September. So look out for that. We've got an underrated song to come up and smoking hot photo as well. But let's close the poll, will we? Yes, we will. Okay, let's see if I can find that now. Let's have a look. Okay, end poll. Yeah. And we've got the blue armadillo, 43%, the white with blue shoulders, 34%, the red armadillo, 11%, and navy with multicolored arrows, 10%. So the winner with 43 is the blue armadillo, which is... Let me take the caption off. Hang on, where are we? Come on, Steve. Yes, here we go. Right. So the blue armadillo. What number was the blue armadillo? No, it wasn't that one. No, it wasn't that one. Yes, that's the one. That's the one that won. Number 3, the blue armadillo. Thanks to everybody that voted. Very, very kind of you to vote. And again, on the 8th of September, there will be another poll for you to join into. Underrated Elvis song. Yes. Now, this is suggested by Chris R. Hello, Chris. I'm not sure you were on or not, but anyway, you can see me on Catch Up. Suspicion is a 1962 song originally recorded by Elvis, written by Doc Pomus and Mort Schumann. It became a major hit in 1964 in a recording by Elvis, sound-alike Terry Stafford. One of 25 songs written by Pomus and Schumann for Elvis, Suspicion was recorded on March 19th, 1962 in RCA's Nashville Studio B and issued on the album Potluck, released on June 15th, 1962. In April 1964, when the Terry Stafford version of Suspicion, recorded in May 1962 as a demo, was in the top 10 of the Billboard Hot 100, the Elvis original was given a US single release with Kiss Me Quick on the flip side. Now, do I have that? I think I do. Where is it? Let's have a look. There it is. Kiss Me Quick. And it says that Kiss Me Quick was the favoured side, reaching number 34 nationally. Suspicion peaked at only number 103. The song was published by Elvis Presley Music Inc. And that is an underrated song. If it only got to 103, it definitely is an underrated song. That's the song that Chris thinks is underrated, and I agree as well. I'm going to leave a link below to the Elvis's Suspicion, but I'm also going to leave the link of the Terry Stafford one as well, so that you can have a listen to that. Obviously, Elvis would have heard that because it was a demo. And interesting. Very, very interesting. Because obviously Elvis heard a lot of demos in his time. And obviously he would have heard the Terry Stafford one, I'm sure, as well. smoking hot photo of the week. What more can I say? Yes. Courtney Presley Jackson is saying, take care everyone for 2 weeks. Yes, just a reminder, I am not live again now until the 8th of September. I'm going on a little vacation somewhere warm and sunny, thankfully, not like rainy Ireland, but there you are. But I am going to show you this smoking hot photo. It's a great one. It really is a great one to see you off for 2 weeks. I hope this will put you in good stead for 2 weeks. Now, obviously, it's opening night, 1970, August the 10th. That's the part where he's going like that, isn't it? With his hand, he's very, very nervous. He can barely keep still. Very, very nervous. God bless him. So yeah. Now, as I say, I am going on vacation, but I am going to leave you with a video to watch, and I will try and upload it either tomorrow or Tuesday. So please look out for that. But it is emotive. It will divide Elvis fans. I know it will. But I would ask you to watch it and listen to it with an open mind. And you can let me know when I come back on the 8th what you thought. Until then, thank you very, very, very much for joining me. Please do come back on the 8th. Don't desert me, will you? Thanks to all the great callers. Thanks to Dave for moderating. They really, really, really were good callers tonight. And don't forget, you can call in on the 8th. So take it away, Al.
Elvis has left the building. Thank you and good night.
Take care, everyone, and I'll see you in 2 weeks.